No, Appalachia is a great example, actually. You can look at EQT as an example. They think they have the best process for analyzing title in Appalachia. They do stand-up title opinions, and it's kind of a joke. Like they're essentially having attorneys run everything right off the bat, and they're spending a ton of money to do it. And anybody that thinks that one company can build software better than a company that's solely focused on building that software is nuts, right? And especially in Appalachia, I've seen the power of Tracts. So where you have these massive airship chains, and sometimes it's hard to detect where all of this common title is, and to understand how these parties relate to each other. With Tracts, the computer's doing it for you, right? So it understands the relationships of every party and everything that party owns at every moment in time. Like you can quite literally see through time what exactly ownership is instantly. And then when you find and identify a chain or an airship, you're able to just clone that across the different areas, or Tracts will automatically say, hey, these documents are common to your area. So in Appalachia, I understand why they hire an attorney to do the stand-up opinions right off the bat, because they know they're going to eventually have to do it. I think it's the wrong way of thinking about it, and I would challenge them any day to getting to the correct answer at faster and at a lower cost, and a more correct answer against their current process, because of doing it manually or by hand. I don't care if it's an attorney with 20 years of experience. It can get complicated, things can get missed, and it's harder to miss those things with Tracts. East Texas, I would argue, is a lot more challenging than Appalachia, as an example. And
really?
And that is because
explain that, because that I've never heard.
The title's harder in East Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, I should get a couple more guests on here.
I thought Appalachia takes the crown for hairiest title.
Maybe for a human, but the documents are easy to get generally. The resources available to the landmen are there's a lot of great resources. With Tracts, you're solving the airship problem, and it scales like crazy, especially if your acreage is contiguous. So what that means is essentially when acreage is contiguous, the title generally is contiguous through time in some way or another. And when you have lots of landmen working, it's hard to communicate amongst those landmen. So anytime you scale out your project in Appalachia, it's going to feel more expensive or more costly or take more time, because there's so much rework being done, like work that you're doing, they're doing, and so many things that can be missed. And if something's missed when you're doing it manually, you have to go back and do everything. But with Tracts, you could have that same airship chain in 5 different units or 100 different tracks or whatever, and you find the mistake, like when you're doing the 101 tract or that next unit, where you find a document that would have affected the way that airship broke up. You add that document, it instantly updates all of those other chains, right? So that it's just not doable by a human, and therefore it sounds complex. It takes a lot of time, but really what you're talking about is did I have kids? Did my kids have kids? These are very simple things to keep track of for a computer at scale.